Led by Mr. John DeFrancis. Please bow your head and join me in the Lord's Prayer. Our Father, who art in heaven, hallowed be thy name. Thy kingdom come, thy will be done, on earth as it is in heaven. Give us this day our daily bread, and forgive us our trespasses, as we forgive those who trespass against us. And lead us not into temptation, but deliver us from evil. Thank you, Mr. DeFrancis. Item number 3 is our pledge, led by Mr. Tab Kleinpeter.
Please join me in the pledge. Pledge
allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Thank you, Mr. Kleinpeter. Item number 4 is our mission statement. Ms. Karen Bro.
The mission of the Ascension Parish School System is to provide each student a high-quality education necessary to succeed in an ever-changing world.
Thank you, Ms. Bro. Before we move to item 5, Ms. Gio, do we have any public comment for us?
No, sir.
Thank you. Item 5, approval of minutes of February 4th, 2025.
Motion.
We've got a motion by Mr. Kleinpeter, a second by Ms. Karen Bro. Do we have any further discussion? Any opposition? All right, that motion carries. Thank you. Moving on into our meeting items, presentation by Junior Achievement, and tonight we have Ms. Paula Dawson here to give us a presentation.
Hello, good evening. I'm Paula Dawson, president of Junior Achievement Greater Baton Rouge and Acadiana. And this is Kristen Brooks, the education manager that covers Ascension Parish. And we are so grateful to be here and speak with you tonight. And just share a little bit more about Junior Achievement and the impact that we're making in the community. So Junior Achievement, we have 3 core pillars to inspire and prepare youth for the global economy, focusing on those 3 pillars, which is financial literacy, work readiness, and entrepreneurship. So we're really ingrained in the schools, done a lot of great work in Ascension, had the pleasure of working with Jared, who is on our board of directors. So he gets to see firsthand, the in-depth part of our programs and the amazing organization and the work that we've been doing. Dr. Walker, I can't go without saying this, and I'll say this a little bit further into my presentation. Dr. Walker has been with Junior Achievement and supportive of Junior Achievement services for many years. And she has been served as a mentor to me in new programs and initiatives that we're bringing out to really see, does she find value in what we're doing? Are we working in the right manner? Do we have aligned goals? So I want to thank you for that. And, many of you I've worked with before, John, Jackie, so I'm excited to be here to get to know the rest of you. So I'll begin here with, I shared our 3 pillars, but just to give you a little history of the work that we've done with Ascension Parish, it is very important to us to really start ingraining ourselves more into Ascension Parish. And we worked very hard over the past couple of years to ensure that we are impacting more students as we've gone. Junior Achievement, how many of you have heard of Junior Achievement before? Okay, great. So we've been around for over 100 years, and our curriculum, 90% of our curriculum focuses on those 3 core pillars, but also is tied to the state standards. So it's a really nice connection as far as the curriculum that we're offering and how the teachers can use it in the classroom. The impact that we've had, our students reached in Ascension Parish in particular, and we do this every year to really assess how are we working in the parishes. And you are the second largest parish that we're serving, and we're proud to say that, and we want to do more. So the idea for us being here today is to really share with you the programs that we have, what services that we can offer you, and to share with you what we've accomplished. So almost 5,000 students that we've impacted over the past year, 10 schools, 48 classes, the contact hours, and that's the hours that we're spending in the classroom. What sets us apart is that it's not just programs that we're offering to the students, but what sets us apart is the mentors that we bring from the business community. So we train those mentors, and we're actually bringing them into the classrooms. So we're bridging that gap from the classroom to the business world. And then our volunteers, that kind of goes into that mentor piece of, there are so many different programs that we offer that I could talk all night, but I am going to highlight some of the major ones that we're working on in Ascension in particular. So I will start with our JA in a day. And so this is our JA in a day in the speaker series. I know many of you have probably volunteered in the classroom before with this, but this is a program that's for K through 5 students where volunteers receive a little kit and it has all the materials they need. It's got the games that are interactive. And it's for that K through 5 space, and it's age-appropriate lessons on financial literacy, work readiness, and entrepreneurship. And we spend 4 hours with those students. The teacher stays in the classroom. If there are any discipline issues, they're the ones that cover all of that. And the volunteers, they are really just to immerse themselves in the classroom and connect with the students, sharing these goals. Anyone ever taught a JA in a day? All right, Jared, you got one back there. There you go. So any thoughts on that program from you all?
It was great. It was good. Working with the kids, it was really good.
Awesome.
And I love volunteering. I just went this past week. First time I got to go to my own kid's school, which was pretty neat. But I've been to the West Side schools often. I've been to Lakeside Primary a lot, and just to see their response when you pass out the play money, and then you have to take some back for taxes, and to see how they respond to that's pretty neat. I got to teach them how to write a check. I got to teach them just about business and industry and what's out there and the chances. And you could tell some of these kids grew up where they never knew some of these things were possible in their life. So it's definitely rewarding to me to even volunteer to get in the class. So I like it a lot. And I know you'll cover some of the other programs too, like BizTown and stuff.
I will.
Those are great.
So thank y'all for sharing. And that one is an important one to us. We also have our JA Discovery Center. And when I shared with you earlier that Dr. Walker has been a mentor to me. So the Discovery Center is basically 2 programs. One is a 5th grade program. It's called BizTown. And one is called Finance Park. That's for 7th grade. And when this came, the program kind of became an idea to bring to our greater Baton Rouge area. I came to Dr. Walker probably 4 years ago, walked in with my big schematic and showed her my plans that I'm going to build this $12 million building, which I thought it was going to be 6 at that time. Ended up being $12 million. Dr. Walker really loved the program. And what it is that BizTown program, it's 12 lessons that the students go through in 5th grade, teacher-led curriculum. And they're learning about how a city works, about voting, about consumers and being producers, and how, it's just important to make businesses run and how they have to make a profit and so forth, taking out loans. And so they go through this lesson and then they come to this immersive learning lab that we have, which I mentioned earlier, it was going to be a permanent facility. Instead of that and spending such a tremendous amount of money on that, we made it go mobile. So we have a pop-up city that we can bring to the different areas, and we want to be in Ascension. So that is the plan for next year, and I really want to make sure that all the educators, that you all are aware of that. We want BizTown to be here. And then there's Finance Park, which is for the 7th graders, and that is 12 lessons are taught in the classroom, all about financial literacy, about personal banking. What is a credit score? What is a mortgage versus renting? All about buying a car, all about the bills that they're going to pay as adults. Once they go through that lesson, they come up to this pop-up city, Finance Park. And when they walk in, we give each student an iPad and they turn it on and they find out who they are for the day. If they're married, single, what their credit score is, how many children they have, and they have to be that adult for the day. They cannot put their wife on the bus and buy themselves, a Porsche, because then they learn there might be divorce in their future. But it really is I know that you all understand that immersive learning is truly, truly impactful. Now that we've got this up and running, it's going to be really important that we bring it here. This requires a gym-sized space. We need to be able to pop it up and keep it there in Ascension for 4 to 6 weeks, and let your 5th graders and your 7th graders go through this program. So that's kind of on our agenda. Any questions so far? I know I'm talking a lot. I've still got more, but yeah. All right. So that's the Discovery Center mobile. We just launched that in the fall. We had that, it was near the airport. We had it there for about 6 weeks. Currently, we're in Plaquemine, We're moving to St. Gabriel next, and many of your schools, are going to be going through that. And we're wanting to increase that for next year. But this year is kind of a pilot. We're keeping it small so that we can fine tune everything, so that we can open that up. All right, so then our leading ladies and our mentoring men. This is a half-day program where it's for high school students. We do middle school sometimes, but basically these students, we separate the males and the females, and we bring in mentors into the school typically. And we spend a half day with them. The guys are learning with mentors that are assigned to a table of 7 to 8 guys. They're actually going through budgeting exercises. They're learning about workforce skills. They're learning about different career paths. They're learning how to tie a tie. And we literally bring ties and have the mirrors, and the mentors are showing them how to do that. And the leading ladies is the same thing. We just have other other topics as well in those.
I think it's important to mention that the mentors are local.
Mhm.
Like they are our doctors and lawyers. The first one I went to 4 years ago, I saw an engineer, a doctor, a lawyer right from Ascension Parish. I thought it was amazing. I really
Awesome.
did. It was an awesome experience for those students. And so to pull from our community and allow kids to be able to see what the possibilities are for their lives, I think it is great for them.
Thanks, Dr. Walker. And we do find that that's very important too, because when you find that these guys and these girls are sitting with a mentor at their table, it can really open up and ask the questions that they may not be able to ask in other places or may be afraid to. It's amazing to watch these conversations happen, and it's just really eye-opening. So I would encourage you, if you haven't been to a Leading Ladies or Mentoring Men, you all, every person in this room is doing amazing work in Ascension. Come join us. Come be a mentor for the day. We make it simple. It's facilitator-led, and we just kind of guide you through it. And you're just there to add your experience and your input.
The last one I did was at Lori Middle School. You talked about we did middle schools. And actually coming up on March the 20th, I'll be back at Lori Middle. So if y'all free, come join us.
Yes.
But the thing that's neat about it, you show up and I didn't know what to do or what it was going to be like, but everything's provided. There's a JA staff member there. They give you everything you need. They spend 10 to 15 minutes explaining what it's going to be like. I sat at a table with a group of 8th graders, which were about 6 or 8 young men, and really got to brainstorm with them on what they want to be, what they could be. I led the part to tie the ties, and my favorite part was at the end. They do a panel where they just get to ask any question they want to anybody. You got plant workers, you got people from every part of industry and business you can think of, and they ask some hard questions. So
They do.
it is definitely a rewarding, amazing program that in a half a day you get a lot out of it, and so do the kids.
Absolutely. So thank you. Yes, we'd love to have you join us. And then there's, of course, our financial literacy course. When we found out that it was going to now be mandated that high school students have to receive a year's curriculum in financial literacy prior to graduation, we immediately went to our JAUSA office and said, look, we've got some great curriculum, but these objectives that it's set out for in the mandate, there is no curriculum for. And you all might have something. And if you do, that's great, but we want to let you know that this curriculum is ready. It has the assessments, it has the mentor videos, it has so many, it's ready to roll. And Kristen actually leads that financial literacy course. So if any of your educators are interested in that, they just want to look at it and get some ideas or use some supplemental pieces out of it, we're your partners. Good. All right. So, and then of course, we do some other programs. We've got our speaker series. We've got a Finance Park virtual, which we can actually do on their Chromebooks in the classroom. But now that we got the mobile unit, we want to make good use of that. So here are program and services. You'll see Junior Achievement is extremely frugal with every dollar that comes into our organization. Jared can attest. He sees the financials at every board meeting. We do a very good job. We are always under budget. But I think what I need you all to know is that the programs that we're offering and that we're completing in Ascension, we have been fundraising for those corporate dollars and those personal gifts to ensure that those students are receiving those services, and we will continue to do that. And as long as we can keep that funding there, we will service up until what we can fund. We are currently, you'll see, our current is at 30,000. There is a little bit of a gap there. That's something that we're continuously working on to try to, reach more students. This next year with Discovery Center going live with Ascension, that I just want to let y'all know we're going to do as much as we can. But a lot of that funding is coming from the corporate world. And we do events to support that. So we have our Crawfish King and some other fundraising events that are making all of this stuff possible. So, any questions so far? All right. So we have a Visitors Day. If you're curious about seeing the Discovery Center mobile, come sneak a peek. March 12th, we're going to be at St. Gabriel Community Center from 11 to 12. We'd love for you to come in, come see it firsthand. Stay for 10 minutes. If that's all you've got, we'll take it because I think once you see it, you're going to be blown away. The last thing I think I wanted to share was the teacher-led curriculum. We do have year-long curriculum that's available to any of your educators, high school level. Example, Marketing 1, Marketing 2, Economics for Success. So we have quite a few curriculums that can also be used as well, but that's, teacher-led. So if you're looking for some pieces to change over for next year, Kristen's your person to talk to for that. And then the last thing, I'll shamelessly plug again, we need volunteers. You're definitely wanted out there with the students. It's important that you get involved with them, I think. So please, as a follow-up to this meeting, I will send a 4-minute video that tells you everything I just said in less than 4 minutes, but will also include the volunteer link.
And the links are flexible too. You can sign up for 1 or 2 little slots or whatever. So
Yes.
it doesn't, it could be a half day, quarter day or whatever. So they're real easy to sign up. They send you reminders. Kristen sends out the content before so you can read over and it's word for word to teach. So I'm definitely not a teacher and I can do it. So
Yes. And we are a team of 8. We're small, but we are efficient and we work hard. So come join us. Get on board. Come see them.
March 12th it was?
Yes.
Where at again?
St. Gabriel Community Center.
Community Center.
Yes,
Gabriel.
I have that info I can forward to the board as well.
that works. Any other questions?
Yeah, I got a math question. 5,335 local contact hours, 136 volunteers. Does that mean each one of those volunteers is doing 40 plus hours?
No, sometimes we have, there's staff involved. We've got DECA clubs involved. There's different methods to that. Any other questions?
Any other questions, board?
Thank y'all.
Awesome.
Thank you.
Thank you very much.
Thank you so much.
We appreciate it.
Thank you.
Kristen's gonna pass around, you have them if you want. Or you already got them?
Everybody has one.
Perfect.
Thank you so
Yeah,
much.
and don't throw that away. We're too cheap. Pass it around.
Thank you all.
Thank you.
All right, board, we'll move on to our consent agenda. I'll read it out here. Number 1, approval of job description for coordinator of safety and security. Approval of job description, digital media coordinator. Approval of job description, occupational therapist. Approval of job description, public information coordinator. Approval of job description for physical therapist. Approval of monthly Head Start services report, January 2025. Approval of monthly personnel report, January 2025. Approval of out-of-state field trip for Dutchtown High School NJROTC to tour Stennis Space Center, Stennis, Mississippi, March 18, 2025. And last is approval of out-of-state field trip for San Mo High and East Ascension High NJROTC drill and athletics teams to attend the Area 16 Drill Championships in Pensacola, Florida, March 7th through 8th, 2025. Do we need to remove any items from consent?
Motion accept.
We got a motion by Mr. DeFrancis, a second by Mr. Kleinpeter. Do we have any further discussion? Any opposition? All right, that motion carries. Thank you. All right, we'll move on. Committee information. Number 1 is report of committee meetings. We got a couple tonight. Mr. DeFrancis.
Yes, sir. Today at the IT committee meeting that was at 5:15, we had Mr. Taft, Kleinpeter, and Jake Lambert present. A couple of notes from the IT budget today presentation. We got $4.8 million. It's going to be spent in the next month or so for new laptops, since we are a one-to-one district. Also, next year in the 25-26 budget, we're going to spend $1.1 million in cybersecurity costs. And the IT department is also asking for a new position or one new additional employee for a network technician. And lastly, the overall rough budget for the IT department in 25-26 is going to be $15.1 million. And that concludes our committee from IT, sir.
All right, thank you, Mr. DeFrancis. All right, Mr. Boudreaux.
Yes, Mr. President, we had a budget committee meeting this evening. We had 2 items on the agenda. The first one, we received the report from the 23-24 school audits from Ms. Dawn Dunn and Ms. Deshauna Jackson. The second one was to review and consider extending the 1-year only West Side supplemental pay, which we did go ahead and move that out of committee, and it'll be on the next board meetings consent agenda. That's it.
All right, thank you, sir. All right, next we'll move on to number 2, scheduling committee meetings. We have quite a few. Go ahead, Mr. Boudreaux.
Yep, Strategic Planning Committee meeting on May 6th at 5 o'clock. Ms. Gill, you have that one?
Yeah, go ahead.
All right, Mr. Murphy, we need he needs an insurance committee meeting March 11th at 5 o'clock. Also, an insurance committee meeting on June the 3rd, 5:45. And I need to call a policy committee meeting May 20th at 5:30.
All the committees will move on. Superintendent board comments. Number 1 is superintendent comments.
And I just have a few updates. I wanted you all to know that I met with the Teacher Advisory Council on last week. And I cannot express how much I enjoyed, not as much as I enjoyed the kids, but I really enjoyed meeting with our teachers. We talked about teacher morale, inclusion training, support for EL learners, and technology training. They are giving us a lot of insight on what will continue for us to be a stronger and a better system with working with our students. So I just wanted to really give them a shout out for all that they are doing to help us. Last week also, we had our Epic E3 event, and I believe Ms. Karen Bro, Mr. John DeFrancis joined us. It is an after-school STEM program that we are partnering with River Parish Community College and Air Products, and it is being offered right now at Lowry Elementary and Sorrento Primary. So those are the 2 schools next year. Our current second graders will be selected to be candidates to be able to apply and go to the STEM program. Our teachers are currently being trained, and we're really, really excited. I just want to remind you that on March 6th, Lowry will have an open house for the Epic E3 event at 5:30, and on March 11th, Sorrento Primary will have an open house at 5:30. And if you're available, please do not hesitate to go and join. So I'm again very excited about this partnership and what it means for our kids. And then here's a reminder on our special education events. On February 19th, we have our Special Olympics student trials at Dutchtown High School at 9 a.m. On the same day, February 19th, we have our Special Education Advisory Council at 5 p.m. here at ITTC. And then on Thursday, March 13th, we have our Special Education Resource Fair, and that's going to be at 5 p.m. at the Gonzalez Civic Center. And then last but not least, you'll notice in board docs, you have under superintendent comments, you have your employee exit reports. And so you all received the redacted copy, but I want you to know I read the entire report. I read every comment that every teacher that exited our system or employee that exited our system said. And so what you'll find is 83% of the teachers and our staff members that left our system said that they would recommend APSB as a place to be employed. So I want you to know that even if they gave a negative comment or gave feedback for us to improve, 83% were on the favorable side. The things that they thought were positive were teacher support, that we focused on kids, and that we had high standards. And we saw that across the board. The things that they wanted us to improve upon is teacher pay and paraprofessional pay, administrator-teacher relationship, and better support for special education. And so we're going to go through that with our executive committee, and we're going to look for ways that we can improve the experience for our employees. We are a great system because great people work for us, and we want to keep it that way. So please go through that, and if you have any questions or concerns, bring them to me and I'll do my best to address it. That's all I have.
Thank you, Dr. Walker. Next, we'll move on to board member comments. Do we have any board comments?
I do. Okay.
All right, go ahead.
Well, I forgot these last board meeting. I always go in school board appreciation month. I go through all the letters from the kids, and I always try to pick a couple out for you because I just think they're funny. So I got 2 or 3 of them here. First one is, Dear Mr. Bourgeois, I want to thank you all for that you do. That's exactly how it's said. I thank you for the water in the halls. I thank you for the air conditioning on the buses. Then the PS is the key. It says, I don't know how to spell. So I got this one. Thank you for everything you do for us at Dutchtown Middle School. If it wasn't for you and your other coworkers, I would be dehydrated and probably in the hospital from passing out from not having enough food in my mouth. And this one I started on. I'm like, my God, if you could see it, the handwriting's amazing. I got about 2/3 of the way. I'll show you. It said, Mr. Marty Bourgeois, I want to express my gratitude for your tireless efforts in supporting our students and teachers. Your dedication to providing the tools and resources they need. And I told Teresa, I said, "Damn, I got the valedictorian." But then I looked at the principal. I thought y'all would find those.
Yeah, that's good. That was real good.
Thank you for that. Any other board member comments? All right, moving on. Our next is executive session. Number 1, executive session, appeal of expulsion of JC student at Santa Monica High School. And we'll need a motion, a second, and a roll call to go into executive session. We have a motion by Mr. John DeFrancis, a second by Ms. Karen Bro. And we'll need a roll call vote.
Mr. Duplashay,
Yes.
Ms. Bluen,
Yes.
Mr. Bourgeois,
Yes.
Mr. DeFrancis,
Yes.
Mr. Kleinheiner,
Yes.
Mr. Bursaday,
Yes.
Mr. Lewis Lambert,
Yes.
Ms. Bro. Yes. Mr. J. Lambert.
Yes.
And Ms. Jill will act for 30 minutes. Are we staying in here?
Yes,
Yes.
everybody else is leaving. Yes.
Yeah, I get the data.
I